Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Well guys, this video is all about IELTS listening preparation plan. You may call it IELTS listening study plan, IELTS listening preparation plan, IELTS listening pattern plan, timetable, whatever you want to say, you can just say that. Well, if you're planning to appear in IELTS and you want to take paper delivered IELTS, it is compulsory for you to have a complete set of Cambridge IELTS books 1 to 17 along with the audios in your mobile device. Okay, I mean, these things are compulsory. I'm going to give you a wonderful plan, and this plan is going to work for you. It has worked for several students all over the world. It is going to work for you as well. So, Cambridge IELTS books 1 to 17, and if you're planning to take computer delivered IELTS, then these books should be there in your laptop or desktop along with the audios. Now, the first thing is take a listening test, random test, okay, without stopping the audio. Transfer your answers to the answer sheet. You must print out the answer sheets. Just go to Google and you will find IELTS listening, reading and writing answer sheets, PDF. Print them out. At least 20 sets. 20 sets for listening, for reading and for writing. So you should take any random test and see where you stand. Like out of 40, how many answers are correct? If you get 20 correct answers, not to worry. 50% you know, 50% you have to know. And by the way, learning is just like a chain reaction. It's a link between what you know and then we link another thing along with that. Have you noticed one thing? When you were in class 1, you learned mathematics. Class 2 mathematics, class 3 mathematics, class 4 mathematics. All these mathematics, they were linked together, they were linked with each other. So same is the case with IELTS and you. So you should have all this material, take one test out of 40, see where you stand and then see what is your target band. If your target band is 7, that means you need 30 correct answers. For 30 correct answers, you are 10 right answers behind your target, so you should start. If you are unaware of your target band and your present level, you will not know what to do and how to achieve and all that. Now guys, I want you all to divide your IELTS preparation into 4 parts. As in IELTS listening, there are 4 parts. In each part, there are 10 questions. So I want you to divide your IELTS listening preparation in 4 parts. And for each part, you should give 7 days. I'm going to give you a perfect plan. It's going to work for you. It has worked for several other students as well. Now, first 7 days. If you don't work on Sunday, then 6 days, okay? All right, sorry about that. I mean, for IELTS candidates, there is no holiday, there is no weekend, there's no vacation. You need to work 24/7 and all that, okay? So the first 7 days from Cambridge IELTS books, you will only do listening part 1, full stop. You might be thinking, why? Well, if you do part 1 only repeatedly, your ears will be tuned in. The language you learn in part 1, that language will enable you to deal with part 2. Part 1 is class 1. Part 1 is level 1. So if you do part 1 for 7 days, Cambridge IELTS books 1 to 17, most definitely you will be ready for part 2 after 7 days. And then again, day 1, part 2. Now and by the way, when you start with part 1, initially 5 right answers, 6 right answers, 7, and towards the end of 7 days, all Cambridge books 1 to 17, you will see you will start getting 10 by 10 in part 1. When you start getting 10 by 10 in part 1, it means you are ready for part 2. You start with part 2 initially, 4 correct answers, 5 correct answers, 6 correct answers, and during this you have to do one thing. You got to do debriefing with your wrong answers. Whenever you get the wrong answer, play the audio again towards the end or listen to the audio script which is given at the end of the book. I'm telling you, this is a foolproof plan. This plan will enable you get your desired band, even more than your desired band. Audio script is given at the end of each Cambridge book, so you can read the audio script. If your question number 5 is wrong, read the audio script, test 1, question number 5, what is written there, what you have written there, how your answer is wrong and how that answer is right. This is what I call debriefing. You must do debriefing with each test, with each mistake of yours. Now, day 1, you will do 7, 8 part 2s. Then second day, you will do 8 to 10 part 2s. Part 2 takes only 5 minutes, okay? 5, 6 minutes. Then again, only part 2, part 2, part 2, part 2, and all that. For 7 days, if you only do part 2, you are going to be ready for part 3 after 7 days. What do the students do? Day 1, they start with part 1, 2, 3, 4. They're not ready for 3 and 4. And then they waste part 1 and 2 as well. So you need to go systematically like this. Okay, now listen. You will go on like this. So part 1, then part 2, 7 days, part 3, 7 days, and part 4, 7 days. That is going to take almost 28 days. After 28 days, the next 2 days, you are going to take 5 mock tests. Complete listening mock tests from Cambridge IELTS book, or if you know there is a website over there, or you can just print out some tests, play the audio, headphones and all that, take 5 mock tests, and then you will see day 1 when you started, you had 20 correct answers. After 28 days, after following this plan, when you're going to take the test again, you will be surprised to see 34 correct answers, 36 correct answers, and for some of you, there'll be 38 correct answers as well. Now, there is one thing. If you guys can do it, just do let me know. I want any one of you to separate all 4 parts of IELTS in 17 books. Like first you can make part 1, listening, book 1, test 1, part 1. Book 1, test 2, part 1. Book 1, test 3, part 1. Along with the answers, you can paste the answers somewhere on the very next page. It's going to take a long time, I know, but if anyone is willing, I will publish his name and I will announce his name and all that. You can make separate booklet for part 1, separate booklet for part 2, separate booklet for part 3 and separate booklet for part 4. On one page there should be questions, PDF, right? Screenshot PDF. Second page there should be answers. One page there should be questions, second page there should be answers, if you can do that, right? So this is how others will get help from your work, or sometimes you are really willing to do something for others. If you are that sort of person, you can just do that, okay? So once you start and finish 28 days plan, please comment this video after 28 days, because your comments will inform me whether this plan works or it does not work. If it works, you guys can read the comments. If this video is 28 days old, you can read the comments and see what have they commented. If this plan is really worth the trouble of doing it, or if it is not worth the trouble, then you cannot do that, okay? But anyways, in my experience, this plan has worked for many weak IELTS students who usually complain that IELTS listening part 3 and 4, they don't understand. By the way, IELTS is basically learning. IELTS is not just test. IELTS preparation is learning. Through IELTS preparation, you improve your English. So this listening plan is going to work out for you. All the best, guys. I also teach IELTS on, and by the way, if you make that PDF book, my WhatsApp number is there. You can share that with me. If you find time and you make it, then I'll give you a very good shout out, okay, in my video. So all the best. I teach IELTS online all over the world and on campus here in Lahore. If you want to be the part of my online or on campus IELTS classes, my WhatsApp number is given. You can contact me for that. Asad Yaqub truly wishes you best of luck. Take care. Allah Hafiz.